Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to take y'all along with me as I make some of our holiday favorites. So these, basically everything I'm showing you is stuff that I cook for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, Easter, and some of it's also like things that I just take to barbecues and whatnot when we get invited to those kinds of outings. So first we are going to start with cranberry salad, and I'm going to take you along with me as I make it. So here's everything you're going to need. 1 package of fresh cranberries, half a cup of chopped walnuts, 1 raspberry jello, I get the large one, a big can of crushed pineapple, of course a bowl to mix it in, a measuring cup for the water, and something to put the jello in once you're done. And then over here, rather than boil my water on the stovetop, I just do it in here. And then the food processor for chopping up the cranberries. The first thing we're gonna do is open up our package of cranberries and sort through them to pick out any of the ones that are just like not good, that have gone bad. And as I sort through them, I will just put them in here. See, like this one's like wrinkly and like deflated. You don't want to eat that one. Oh, here's a better example. See how it just like squishes? It's like, yep, don't eat that. You only want the good ones in here. All of the recipes that we're doing right now, you're going to want to do the day before so that like the jello has time to set up overnight. So this is not a day of recipe. So at about this much in my food processor, I'll go run it, and then we will come back and empty it into the bowl and then finish the next batch of cranberries. All right, the recipe that is linked that I'm mostly following here calls for a lot more sugar than I'm actually going to use. I'm only going to use 1/4 of a cup of sugar, so we're going to put that in. Then we're gonna give it a mix and let it sit for a little bit so that the juices from the cranberries can kind of like break down the sugar. And there'll be a little bit of liquid in here when that is finished happening. So this has been sitting here for a bit. You can see like the juice down here is kind of just like running off. That's what we want. So now I have boiled water in the kettle. I'm gonna do 2 cups of boiled water. And just put that right in with the cranberries. Dump our box of raspberry jello in. And give it a mix. Now, the recipe that is linked calls for the pineapple to be drained and the juice reserved to put in the cream cheese, but I don't like cream cheese in mine, so I just use the whole can of pineapple and no cream cheese. And your 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. Because I don't drain the pineapple, I don't add 1 cup of cold water. Now that we have this all mixed up, we are going to, you could leave it in here and just dip your cranberry sauce out of this, but I actually have a Jello mold from Tupperware that I'm going to use. So we're just going to pour this in, spoon it in. I think we're going to spoon it in. Before we move on to the next thing to cook, I'm going to clean up the kitchen after the first one so that we have less of a mess at the end to clean up. This is actually stained from the cranberries, so I'm going to use my bleach spray to get the stains out. that mess cleaned up, we are going to start the next thing, which is my green beans. I don't like green bean casserole, so I make them with bacon and onions instead. I do that the day before because it just tastes better when it gets to sit overnight. I guess like the green beans soak up all that bacon grease and grilled onions. So that's what we're gonna do now, and then that will also sit in the fridge and get reheated tomorrow. So all you need is 6 cans of green beans. I usually like to have the Italian cut green beans, but they didn't have those, so this is what I have. 1 pound of bacon, 1 onion, we will dice this. Some water to fill it. I'll show you once we get it into the pot about where you want the water to be, and some chicken bouillon. All right, so we have cooked the bacon and the onion in here. And the grease that is in here in the bottom, you just want to leave that. Now we're going to add the green beans that were rinsed and drained. Give that a mix. For the water, you just want to cover the green beans. Need a little more. So for me, that's about 5 cups. right, the green beans have cooled off enough to transfer them over here transfer them over here where they will sit in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow on the holiday I will just throw these into the crock pot on low, and they're already done, out of sight, out of mind. All right, guys, it is the next day. So I showed you everything that I pre-make the day before. We got the green beans over here in the crock pot, right there. And now we are going to make the macaroni and cheese and sweet potato casserole. Now, macaroni and cheese is one of those things, everybody has their way to do it. If you already have your way to do it, that's great. If you don't, then this video is for you. So don't come at me for my mac and cheese, okay? We love it. So I'm going to show y'all how we make those, and all of the recipes for everything will be attached either in the video if I don't have an online recipe for it, or in the link in the description box. right, so here are all of the ingredients except for the cooked macaroni. We have half and half heavy whipping cream, cream cheese to room temperature that I forgot to pull out, so I just threw it in the microwave real quick. Here is the cheese that I shredded last night, all 4 blocks. All of our spices. We have garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder, salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, and 2 eggs. All right, guys, here is my grandma's recipe. I typed it out on this. I have the original recipe in a different cookbook for sweet potato casserole. So screenshot this if you want to make this recipe as well. All right, guys, here is the recipe for the base of it. We have 2 29-ounce cans of sweet potatoes that we will drain, a cup and a half of milk, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch that will be dissolved into the milk, 3/4 a stick of butter, 3 eggs, a cup of sugar, and that's my dash of cinnamon. It's really cinnamon to taste. So this is the base, and then once the base cooks, we will add the topping.